Hello, darling.
All right, I was telling him before.
Yeah.
You hear this a lot, but I've told just about everybody that I've ever talked about you, which, believe it or not, is a few people.
Oh, man. Well, thank you.
Yes,
I feel special.
I hadn't told you what I said yet.
Yeah, I know.
But you are the epitome of a true rags to riches story.
Yeah.
Do you mind telling us a little bit about childhood and growing up?
No, man, not at all. I love talking about that. So yeah, was raised good old Hartsville, Alabama. You know,
Is that where you're? I didn't know
yeah,
that.
went to school there and everything, man. And go Tigers, right? So
You're in Coleman. You can't say that.
well, you know, we used to just whoop y'all's butts every
There's
year.
no. There,
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, nobody's going to believe anything you say after you say that.
We'll come back to that. Now, look, I moved to Coleman for 1 year and played for Coach Bates.
Did you really?
In '97.
Yeah.
I sure did. And then I moved back to Hartsville. And what y'all figured out
You
from
played
there.
for Bates. How old are you?
I'll be 45 in March.
Are you 45?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought me and you were closer than that.
Yeah.
I'm not 40 yet.
It was like me. Well, I don't want to say a bunch of names, but I remember those guys.
You remember them?
But you know, and Brett Wesley was a freshman.
Yeah, I was going to say we were freshmen that year.
Yeah, he was a
Yeah.
freshman. And,
Yeah, he graduated. That was his class.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you would have been there. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, you know, Wesley, we used to, of course, cruising the strip was a big deal back then.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then hanging out in front of the movie theater in the Faro, you know. So,
Oh,
The Pharaoh Shop.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's where you got all the latest CDs.
Oh, dude, yeah, man, it was great. And,
Gosh, there'll be kids watch this and won't even know what a CD
They were
is.
well,
Be like,
no,
what is
much
this?
less the
Yeah.
Pharaoh Shop.
Or
Was
the-
that
yeah.
was that back when it was over there in the corner where Goodies was, or did it
Ye-
already move?
No.
to where Hibbits.
It was on the corner where Hibbits is.
Yeah.
Hibbits
Hibbits.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before that though, it was on the old Pharaoh Shop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You remember the pawn shop that was on Main? There
Which
was a pawn
one?
shop
Yeah.
that was on Main. I can't remember what it is now, but they had a bunch of CDs.
Yeah.
They'd have a good collection.
So I didn't know. So you were in Coleman in '97.
Yeah, I was in Coleman, and which, you know, I made a bunch of friends here, and even though when I was only here a year, but even when I went back to Hartsville, we would still, I'd bring all my Hartsville friends up, and we would still you know, hang out with the Coleman friends up here and have a good time and stuff. That was a magical time back then in Coleman, you know. But
Cruising the strip.
yeah, it was a good time. But anyway, so look, yeah, so my story, raised by a single mom. She was just amazing. Worked 2 jobs. God rest her soul. Didn't have much of an education. You know, so she never had a driver's license. You know, she worked
Really?
both
Really?
of her jobs. Winter time, rain, whatever. And so
That's hard.
yeah. And so, yeah, man. So she was a warrior. She was just so resilient and an amazing mother. We didn't have much, but I didn't know it because, you know, she really made sure I had everything I needed. We lived in a housing project over there, you know, and so
Was it pretty safe over there? Or?
yeah, this was back in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know, and Hartsville's a small town, but Hartsville's always been a great town, just like Coleman.
Right. Very similar.
You know,
Yeah.
Coleman's a great city, low crime, good, you know, police departments, and just, you know, everybody knows one another. It's a great community, right? So Hartsville's the same way. But yeah, so started working when I was 14 years old. I'd go around getting yards to mow, cars to wash, you know, things like that, to try to make money to help my mom out, you know. And that's also when I started music back then. And
What do you mean, playing in a band, or what? What'd you
yeah,
play?
I sing and play guitar.
You sing and play.
Yeah.
He can sing.
Can you?
First time I met Charlie, he was playing his guitar and singing. I thought, who is this guy that can actually sing? You know, everybody will pull out a guitar and is usually
Yeah,
terrible
sure.
and can't sing. And here's one that actually could. And you're like, huh. All right.
Yeah, I have a record about to come out.
Hey,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
I'll have to check that out.
Releases in March. Well, the first single does. In
What's
March,
the what's the style? Like, what is your?
It's country. It's
Country? Yeah.
but it's not bro country, but more rock country.
We
you
have
know?
to say that now,
Yeah.
right? You have to kind of distinguish from.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 years ago, did you have to say that?
No, not at all. But it's so crazy. And I know I'm getting sidetracked here, but country music is like the 80s rock of the time. Like everybody's into it. Everybody wants to be a part of it. It's the number one selling music genre out there. You can go to Lacon, Alabama or Los Angeles and you're going to have massive country fans everywhere. Like it's crazy now.
So it's not like it used to be where country was a stigma for the South.
No, not at all. Not at all. Like I was just out in LA, okay? And dude, there's country clubs there now. Everybody's in there line dancing.
Really?
It's cool. I swear,
If
man.
they're in that kind of club, what music are they playing? Are they playing today's country? Or are they playing
No, 90s and 2000s,
country,
you know, Brooks,
yes.
the good stuff, Brooks and Dunn, you know, good dance country, you know, Brooks and Dunn, Garth Brooks, you know, Diamond Rio. I mean, just whatever, the good stuff, the gold. You
I
know?
might have to go to LA if that's
Hey
the
man,
case.
I was impressed. I'll just say that.
You
know?
dance?
Did I dance?
Yeah.
Man, I'll dance up a storm.
Will you? Can you line
Dude,
dance?
No, absolutely not. No. In my mind, I can.
Jacob, have you ever line danced?
Yeah, in West Elementary in the 4th and 5th grade.
4th and 5th grade. Yeah.
We'd have our cowboy day. You'd wear
That's
your
square dancing,
Wranglers
right?
and your hat. And,
Line dancing. Y'all did it
was
both.
it square dancing?
That's probably both. I
I
would
don't
love
remember.
to. Me and you ought to try that sometime.
I'm not dancing with you.
Line dancing.
I don't know why you would ever even say that.
Line dancing would be
Line
great.
dancing
That
is
was
you're
the-
not. It's not with me.
That was
It's
a
with everybody.
weird comment. Why would you want to dance with me, you
Line
weirdo?
dancing is with everybody there.
I wish I had something to mute your mic.
I could see Mullins over there doing the achy breaky heart.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Just-
I could do the
Yes.
achy breaky heart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, long story short. So look, growing up the way I did, and then we'll move on to whatever else. But, you know, it instilled like a resilience, you know, and an appreciation for people. Fast forward, you know, lost my mother very young age after that to cancer. Then I kind of, you know, for a little while, man, I kind of like just floated through life. I was just lost and heartbroken and devastated.
Was this like high school time? or-
Yeah, right after high school.
Right after high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, so for a while I was just kind of existing, and I would go play like acoustic shows and stuff, you know, or whatever. But I, you know, but
And
always
you're writing your music. You're writing your own song.
Well, back then I was just doing cover stuff, you know. I was whatever, and you know, but fast forward, you know, and then I finally, you know, I was like, man, you know, I feel that I am not fulfilling whatever the plan for me to be on this earth is being, you know. So, and it's just, you know, I learned integrity number one. All right. So if you're going to build a business, or if you're just going to be a decent human, integrity's got to be the first thing, you know, as far as your personal traits. Right. And so, man, it just going from the life I lived to where I'm at today, my friends didn't change. I mean, some you make new friends, but then you got to be careful with some of those new friends, right? And then some old friends don't want to be your friend because you've done well for yourself. So that's weird.
I feel like we skipped a step though.
Yeah.
A big step. What
What's
happened? What changed?
For me,
Yeah. What was the turning point, so to speak?
man, not to get all on a soapbox, but it was just like I've always known God has looked out for me in my life, like I really have. And listen, man, I don't blow the doors off the church, and I don't, you know, I'm going to slip up and say a word here and there, and I'm going to do, you know what I mean? But I've always felt that I've had like a protection over me, and it's obvious, you know, as a grown man with his own family looking back, I'm just like, man, like there's something, you know, that's crazy. Like I should have been nowhere near where I'm at today, or in jail or whatever,
Yeah.
And so I've always felt that I didn't understand to what capacity. So yeah, it's just it sounds crazy. I woke up one day and I was like, I'm just tired of existing, like going through the motions. I'm meant to do something bigger. And I started that, and I was working for a company at the time, and doing kind of the same thing what I do now, what my company is. And I decided, I'm gonna take a leap of faith and go out on my own. And it was cool because the company that I worked for actually supported it, and they were like, you can do really well because you understand this stuff, and you can, do this a lot better,
That's a rarity that they'll support you.
Yeah. Well, once you get like that company is a really big company, but once it gets so corporate, sometimes that's not a good thing, in certain industries, because then you're missing the whole point of focusing on getting the work done correctly in a timely manner,
So what kind of work was this?
It's a fiber so I build out fiber optic network. So
Gotcha.
Underground construction, utility construction, things
Gotcha.
like that. So anyway, so it was weird. I woke up one day and I decided I'm going to do it, and I did it, and I didn't look back. And I had a few people really actually take a chance on me and help me out, because man, I had no credit, no money, I'm just this guy with a dream, and one of those people is in this room.
This dude right here.
And I'll never ever forget that. And he helped me out tremendously, and literally, him and then a couple other people I owe, everything to, as far as just having that break. And for whatever reason, he's, he helped me out.
Against my better judgment. No, hey, that's one of those. That's that's a bet that paid off tenfold. So I'm happy for every bit of success you got.
Thank you so much, man. I'll give you that $60 when we get done filming for saying that.
Jacob, what did you think? Did you think at that time you like this is going to be a for sure thing?
Nothing's a for sure thing, but I tell you this: if I'll take a chance, I think it'll succeed, because I'm not.
Yeah,
just
you're
in
not
the habit
betting on something that's.
Yeah, I mean that's
not going to make.
But yeah, you can tell from this, the guy's got drive. He's not going to just go out there and halfway do anything. He's going to go give it his all, and that's what it takes.
Yeah, and man, I will never forget that day. And then I made. I don't want to get into amounts or whatever, but my first 8 months in business was like what most people dream of attaining. It starts with an M. You know what I mean? And I'd done it the first 8 months of business, and I was like, "Holy cow!" Like, okay. So instead of getting complacent and floating through the motions and like that, just made me more hungry. Like I said, okay, so here's my plan to be, here's my 5-year plan, my 10-year plan. Like, so I started just reinvesting back in my business, so I would pay off whatever equipment was financed. I would do this, I would do that, fast track everything, and then I would buy other equipment and just keep kind of growing. And then I would, do other things or whatever, bringing in people, and now it's like this has grown so wild. It's such a blessing, and grown so big. Like, we're in 4 states. We do a lot of work, and but we're doing good work. You don't get to continue to grow and get contracts like that if you're doing bad work. and if you're not doing what you say you can do,
Word goes around fast, doesn't it?
absolutely, especially in that business because it's a niche business. I
mean, there's not that many companies that are doing it. If you get a bad name, you're out.
Well, and if they do try it, they're normally out of business within a year because there's so much work going on right now. People think, well, I can go out here and get this, and I'll go make $1 million in 6 months. It doesn't work like that. Like, you really have to understand what you're doing because you can actually really hurt people. Like you can hit a gas main or whatever, blow somebody's house.
You know what he's talking about, don't you? I mean, that's
digging the lines.
Yeah, I mean, and it's
underground.
all underground. You've got to. There's a lot more to it than just putting the machine out there because you got to map it out and know to go over, under all these different pipes, lines.
You got to know the depths. You got to pothole stuff.
And if you cut a major fiber line, it's on you, and you are
That's an issue.
You're gonna have to sell a kidney to get out of that one.
I mean, there's no telling what they do. Will you run stuff for AT&T and the bigger companies?
Everybody. So AT&T, Verizon, Google. I'm the only body in the United States that has completed a successful Google fiber build.
Really?
Yeah. I was the first one and the only one.
Where's that?
In 2019 in Huntsville, Alabama. I built the whole infrastructure.
You did all the Google fiber.
Yeah, they had another contractor come in. I won't say their name, and they really did a horrible job.
Botched it.
Yeah, and so they had fired them and had called me, and we went in and finished it a year ahead of schedule.
Wow,
which
cool.
I put 250 men on it.
Yeah.
Wide open, and so we're the only one. I think Nashville's finally about to be done, but I think they're like, anyway.
All right, let me ask you this. I don't want to get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Is Google's fiber outpace everybody else's?
No.
About the same?
So it comes down to the servers, man. And
but you would think
Google's got a great product for when it's complete. You know what I mean? They really do. The Google Fiber team and all those guys are great guys, and it's a really good. It's a great service, but it's apples and oranges though. Then you have companies like Brightspeed that used to be CenturyLink. That's a great company, major funding, and they're building out literally the entire United States right now. And I do a bunch of work for them. But man, all these companies, the level is the bar is set so high now. You can't just have I got a meg service over here for
it doesn't
blah,
cut
blah,
it.
blah.
It's not going to cut it.
It doesn't cut it anymore. And so everybody is pushing. And, our great governor, Miss Kay Ivey, such a sweet woman, but very intelligent. And along with the entire country, are reinvesting into fiber and infrastructure for our rural areas, to get 5G to our rural areas. And that's amazing. Because you'd have to be in a city or whatever. But if you live, say, out in Fairview or Holly Pond, right? You're stuck with the one or two people that is out there, and most of the time it's a mom and pop cable company, with internet service, and it's just not good.
Well, I don't have any fiber that runs by the house.
Yeah,
which is baffling.
Y'all don't have Sprout?
Yeah,
it's in the works. But right now, I haven't used Starlink, which is fine. And I'm glad for it.
Does Starlink work pretty good?
It works.
Yeah,
doesn't have as much speed as a hardline would, but it's for what I need. It does. Except when you have kids, when you've got 4 kids and a wife that's always on Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
When you want to watch a 4K TV show, you might have a little issues. That's when you start kicking everybody off the internet.
Is that when the Tyson fight's glitching out?
I did not watch it. Did you watch that?
So, man, I'm going to tell you, which I called it. I knew it was.
You knew it.
I knew it was going to be. I knew it was not going to be a fight.
Did he throw the fight or not?
Yeah, he threw the fight. Mike, if you're watching, you threw the fight. So look, and I have my feelings on this. Mike, if you watch Mike's training videos from 2 weeks leading up to the fight, guys, unbelievable, fast, strong, whatever. All right, so and then the contract's released now. Everybody, it's public knowledge. Everybody can go read it now, right? You know that the fight contract. He only got the $20 million if you made it to 8 rounds. If the fight went to 8 rounds,
So if he wins second round, he doesn't get the 20 million.
he almost knocked Jake out in the first round. So do you remember when
I've only seen clips.
It was the first 25 seconds of the fight. Okay. And Mike comes out. You can tell he's kind of pumped because Mike Tyson is a born warrior. Like,
oh yeah,
when he walk into that ring, get in that ring, his muscle memory kicks in, his mentality, and he's like, I'm going to kill this guy. Okay. So, and Jake is a crap talker, and he's a good promoter. He's a smart guy. I'm not taking anything away from him. And he can fight, but there's no way he would beat Mike Tyson ever. And this fight started. Mike got in there, and you could tell he was pulling some punches, and then he threw a left straight and almost knocked Jake Paul out. Then Jake went over and hugged him, and that's why he was hugging him for like 15, 20 seconds.
I've seen everything about that, and
yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be one of those guys, but I think like you, Tyson catches him with that right hand,
dude. It's over with. Listen, this is unfortunately, Mike was bad with his finances. Okay, he needed some money.
That payday.
He needed a payday, man. For his
Does
family.
the contract say what he'd got paid if he knocked him out early?
$5 million.
I mean, that's
So the incentive is,
I get punched in the face for $15 million.
Yeah,
and that's just
So in a way, he won.
Yeah,
In a way, right?
So if he would have went in there and knocked Jake out in the first round, he would have got $5 million. If the fight went to 8 rounds, he got $20 million. If he let Jake win, he got a bonus of $10 million.
So he made $30 million.
Absolutely.
What'd Jake make off of it?
So much. Jake owns MVP. So
there's no telling how much.
So Jake's the one that did the deal on Netflix, for the documentary leading up to the fight. Jake is the one that did the deal for streaming because he owns MVP Promotions, the whole promotions company that put on the fight. Jake probably made $150 million off that deal.
So he didn't care about paying Tyson $30 million.
No, absolutely not.
You just think like that straight left that he threw.
Yeah,
that was just the old fighter coming out. He saw an opening.
100%, dude. And Jade rocked him. Jake's eyes went back,
but he didn't follow it up. That's what was not Tyson like. And everybody says, "Oh, he's 60 years old." Yes, he is, but
doesn't matter.
Guy he wasn't gassed.
No.
Now again, I'm watching clips. I didn't see the whole thing, so it might just be put together for idiots like me that won't watch the whole thing.
I'll tell you, the real show was the fights before it.
My gosh, man! The two women
that was crazy.
The rest of those guys on the card should have been ashamed after those two women.
It was
that good?
Brutal,
dude.
Yeah.
That's one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Was it a boxing match? Or was it
no, it's a boxing match, and it's a real boxing match. It wasn't like social media stars or anything like that. Like it was a sanctioned fight. Those two girls, man, are absolutely just impressive on it, dude. They would come in here and beat our butts.
No,
I mean, dude, they're so tough too.
The one girl headbutted the other early on. She had her skin hang. I mean, it was the whole time. It was brutal. And she had a gash that needed about probably 15 stitches.
Did you watch the whole thing?
Yeah.
So you hadn't even told us your take. What's your take on the fight?
About the same. It was weird. It was hard to watch. I mean, not hard to watch. It was fun. But after watching those fights before it, you saw this, and it was off.
Yeah.
You felt it was off.
It's kind of like the Roy Jones Jr. and Tyson fight.
During COVID, yeah.
That was weird, too.
Did you see Tyson keep biting his glove?
Yeah. Yeah, he kept biting his glove.
That's to keep from throwing that punch.
Really?
Yep.
And I've read that too.
His instinct, his fighter instinct is so tough. He had to, and you could see him biting it hard. You can see the veins popping out of his neck.
That makes sense.
There was one that I saw where Jake threw a left that Tyson ducked it to his right, and you see him load up that right, and it twitches, and he doesn't throw it.
I didn't catch that. Yeah.
I mean, it's not, again, I'm watching a clip, but that's still the actual clip. Why didn't he throw the right?
He wanted that $30 million.
So this is,
I would too.
Right.
This is what I think. I think there's going to be a rematch.
Like a real rematch?
And I think Tyson's going to actually fight.
No way. Would Jake get in the ring for a real?
He got his money out of it.
No, I think he will do it again.
You think? Of course, if he's making $100 million, who cares?
Yeah. Well, there were some hints right at the end of the fight interview, you know, and it'll either be against Jake or Logan.
I thought the documentary was pretty good.
It was great. Yeah.
Did you see it, Jacob? It was good.
Man, well, you got to watch that.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's real good.
I thought it was too.
I'm a big documentary guy, though. I love like all the untold, you know, all the sports docs and like anything like that, man. It's phenomenal.
All right. Who's a better fighter, Logan or Jake?
Jake.
You think?
Yeah.
Did you see where he called out?
That was
McGregor
weird. Yeah.
For a UFC fight.
Oh.
He will get destroyed. He might be a decent boxer, but Conor might be past his prime, but you still, the amount of knowledge that guy has, and he doesn't need the money.
No. Well, you know, Jake beat Anderson Silva.
Did he?
Yeah.
Was it boxing only?
Boxing.
Yeah, but ever since Anderson Silva broke his leg, he was never the same guy.
Yeah.
You got to remember back when he was fighting, I mean, that guy was unbeatable.
Yeah.
That's when he would mock those guys in the ring, and it was just, he was toying with them, and he'd throw just a falling backwards left jab, knock them out.
Did you see the first fight on the Tyson Paul card? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, he got him in the corner.
Got into the corner
and started. I've never seen that in boxing.
Oh my gosh.
Was he beating him that bad?
Not really. I mean, so it was an actual boxer versus another, I guess he's a boxer, but social media star from another country, right? And the guy hit him and he went against the ropes, had his, back, and the guy just went up and did like that. And I was like, that's going to be everywhere tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's going to be everywhere.
And the sad thing is it wasn't because of the way that the Tyson fight went.
Right.
Oh, no. That was the first fight of the night, which was crazy. But
all right. You are a professional podcaster.
Okay.
You've got your X5 podcast.
Yes, sir.
And you have real deal celebrities on your podcast.
Mm-hmm.
How'd all that start?
So I had purchased a warehouse, right? Because I wanted to get back in music, and I wanted a place to store. Like I like cars and anything with an engine, right? So I like to collect classics and different kind of stuff. And my wife, Casey, one day was like, look, you got to quit bringing all this stuff home. Like, there's nowhere to put it. You built a building, it's filled. So I ended up buying this warehouse. And the warehouse had massive front offices in it. And I was like, this would be great for a studio. So originally, I wanted to get back into music because I've been playing and singing since I was 8 years old, and for so long I didn't do anything with it to focus on growing my company, right? And so I kind of missed it, and I just enjoy it. So I was building a studio, and really just to kind of cut some songs, do some writing, have my buddies over, be weekend rock stars in there, whatever. Well, that turned into, hey, we should do a podcast. And so I built this massive podcast studio. And it started from there. And then, the first, guests were just people we knew. And then through some other friends of mine that's a major producer out in L.A., like he knows so many people. And as some of these people would come through or near the area, I would get them to come in and do the pod. And it just grew from there to now, like, they're calling us, they're people wanting to come on our podcast to promote a record or a tour or whatever.
Now, what's the area? Is it the Birmingham area?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the studio, I've got two now. I've got one up at the lake, Smith Lake.
You got one? Okay, cool. Local.
We live up there full time now.
Okay.
And then I've got one at my warehouse. That's the big one. And it's good old Cleveland, Alabama,
Okay.
Blount County.
Yeah.
Which these people, when you bring them in, they have to be like, "Where are we going?"
Yeah.
Are they? Did
They're
they
sitting
ask
there
about
wondering,
this?
Yeah.
where is this? Where's he taking me?
The cool thing about it is we've been doing this now a little over 2 years. And, and I went out to LA and we cut some out there at the Marquee. I'm going back out there in December. But once you get into that circle of people, it's like bro code. Like they vouch for you to this person and this person. And then, hey, what about this? Or say Sharon Osbourne, Ozzy's wife, may say, hey, what about Zakk Wylde or Billy Idol or whoever you want me to put you? So it's all internal. So you don't have to go through, publicists and things like that. Like so. It's neat how it works. So they already are.
So no red tape.
No, and they're already comfortable because they're like, oh, well, 3 of my friends have already done it and they love it and they had a great time and he has a chef that prepares the meals or whatever you want, and stuff like that. So I
told you he was fancy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Sorry we didn't have anything for you today.
Hey man, look, the ramen noodles was fantastic. Okay, don't worry about it.
Oh man.
Hey, but Chef Rob, big shout out to Chef Rob. He's amazing. So I'll have him come in and or like Corey Feldman was up at the house for a couple days and his people and like that guy.
How was that?
We could fill up a podcast just on Corey Feldman, dude.
Is he?
But he's a vegan, so Rob's over there preparing all this, stuff, right? All this like cauliflower chicken wings and all this stuff and. Which, all this stuff. And then Corey goes, well, hey, man, I got my Boca burgers right here in the
He brought
bus.
his own.
And he bought these like crappy little
Boca burgers.
I'm like, bro, you're not eating those. I was like, you got to leave because Chef Rob's about to kill you if you don't eat some of this.
Yeah, eat something. He made this crap for you, so eat it.
Yeah, we don't eat this crap. Like, we want meat, So,
all right, you mentioned Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
Just going through a list, you had Steve-O. Everybody knows Steve-O.
Yeah, Steve-O's been on a couple of times. Just had Dog the Bounty Hunter. Chris Hansen. We do a lot of stuff. Chris Hansen's coming back mid-December. We do stings with them. Predator stings.
What? Yeah, we saw some of that. Mm-hmm. That looks intense.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's the real deal, though.
That's the real deal. Yeah, it's happening. Yeah.
It's not staged.
You set all these up. I mean, it's not. When I say set up, it's not fake. They're going out and finding people that really do.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Go after children.
Yeah, yeah, and
y'all are getting the bad guys
off the street. Yeah, I mean, we're all fathers. You know what I mean, and have daughters and this and that. So it's like, man, I take that very seriously, and. The next one is going to be with us and Chris Hansen and Dog the Bounty Hunter. So that's
You're bringing it all together.
Is Dog going to kick the door in and go get him?
I think
Tell
so.
me that happens.
Well, see, with the stings, you don't have to kick doors in. Like, we set it up. They go and chat with these people on these websites, and then they drive to you. And so when they come through that door, it's not good. But, it is what it is.
How do you keep them in there from them running away?
Well, you got 14 300-pound deputies on the other side of the door.
Okay. So once they enter, they're gotten.
Yeah. It definitely, I do want to plug Chris's show. Chris has become such a dear friend. And I really, you guys have got to meet him. The next sting, I already told you, I want both of you guys to come down and watch from a safe space, a closed circuit TV or whatever. But I want you guys to meet him. He's such a great person. But go to True Blue. It's TRUBLU, and it's called Takedown with Chris Hansen. You'll see all the episodes on there from Blount County, Alabama. That's all of us. And there's
happening in Blount County.
Yeah, and there's
True Blue.
I think we've done 14 episodes with them.
Man, I want to say, great show, but I hate that there's that many episodes. Right?
Unfortunately,
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hate that.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's great for content, you know, for Chris, but but
you hate that.
But he'll tell you, he'll go, the day I don't catch anybody will be the greatest day ever.
That's what you want. 0 episodes.
You know? And unfortunately, it's not hard to lure them in, is it?
No, dude. People are so. Look, man, one guy was 72 years old. 72, married for 40-something years, whole family.
How long does it take to get them to where they'll come to location?
I mean, sometimes within 30 minutes.
Get out of here.
It's that.
Get out. 30 minutes and they're ready.
Yeah.
Are most of these people, once they get there, are they previously registered sex offenders?
Some of them are. Some of them have no criminal record. A lot of them have 0 criminal record.
So it makes you wonder how much they've gotten away with in the past.
Yeah. And then a lot of them here recently are illegals. And that's a whole different ball game there.
Of course, they're probably back out doing it again.
Yeah. Well, no. So honestly, dude, look at the laws in like Honduras and stuff with stuff like that. Like they get life in prison for that.
It's harsh.
Like they're serious. So their government's very, very serious about that. Like, you know, I just think our laws should be, which they are now. You know, with the NIA's laws was passed, which is, you know, human trafficking, things like that. So now, when someone gets arrested for soliciting sex with a minor, not only do they get that charge and multiple felonies and then this and that, but then it's also a human trafficking law because the child's a minor. So
that's out of all the things a person could do when you mess with a child, that's the one that have no pity.
No.
Especially with these people because they are caught red-handed. There's no, it wasn't me. No, if you show up there, it was you.
It was you. You know, and the chat's all right there, you know, and Chris will read the chat.
I love the fact that you tell me, I mean, he's just point blank. Yeah. Did you say this? And I can't repeat it here.
What do you, we can't say it on. What do you mean by you're going to blah, blah, blah? What do you mean by that? It's a little bit of dark humor.
Sure.
Are most of them uneducated?
No.
It's anybody. Is that what you're saying?
Anybody. I guess it's all walks of life.
There is no, and when we started doing that, it really opened my eyes. Like, because when you think of a sex predator, you think of like some just scumbag. Man, it's people of society 90% of the time.
See, and that's just...
It's scary. It's scary.
It's a sickness. It's not a... I don't know. A lot of people say it's a mental disorder. It's just evil. Yeah. Is what it is. Yeah. I just can't fathom what drives a person to that. So anybody he gets off the streets, great.
Absolutely.
Have you ever had a podcast just bomb?
What do you mean bomb?
Like just wasn't what you expected.
Like this one?
Yeah. I know, right?
You beat me to it.
I could see him thinking on it over there.
You know, have you had one though that, you know, you brought some people in and it just didn't work out?
I can honestly say we haven't.
That's cool. Yeah.
So, and a lot of that too, as I can take all the credit, right? So I've got a great group of guys that co-host the pod with me. And the reason we do that is there's so many there's so many personalities, so many different point of views, and which is great.
Does anything get heated?
No, not every one time. You know, like Casio kid, you know.
Yeah, he's on there a good bit.
He's on there permanently, but you know, he's a permanent cast member, but sometimes, you know, life happens. One of us has to miss or this or that. I had to miss yesterday. I didn't get to go.
I was about to say, you weren't on Dog, were you?
Yeah, I was on Dog.
Were you on Dog?
Dogs come out, let's see, tomorrow, the full episode.
Okay.
We released clips starting Monday, but yeah, the full episode. But we had Carmine Peace. He's a world famous drummer.
You start talking about music, I have no idea.
He played for Rod Stewart and Cactus, Vanilla. He wrote "If You Think I'm Sexy,"
oh yeah,
you know, all that stuff. But
Hey, you do know all this, don't? He's a music guy, so
a little bit. Yeah,
you and him can talk about music all day long. Please don't.
But I didn't.
On that note, I thought we were talking a little bit. I was a big fan of Candlebox. We saw
Kevin Martin's a good friend of mine, man.
Yeah. We saw their show in probably like 97, maybe at Oak Mountain, 98, something like that. They came.
Yeah,
man, it was a great show. So that was pretty cool to see him on there.
Kevin is nothing but a sweetheart. So him and Brett Scallions. I met Kevin through Brett Scallions. Brett Scallions was a singer for Fuel, and good friend of mine. And they came out to the lake house and stayed for like a week, and we just hung out and had some good cigars and some good bourbon and cruised the lake and picked some guitars and just played some music and just great people.
You a pontoon guy or you a wakeboard guy?
I'm a tri-tune guy.
Tri-tune.
Pardon me.
Yeah.
And it's probably got 200-300s on the back?
No. So the demo boat I ordered mine. I've got a new QX25 Bennington. And I ordered it with that new single $500 Mercury.
I knew it wasn't going to have a 150 on it.
Oh, no. So. And the reason I did, it's actually faster by like 4 miles an hour with the single.
How fast are we talking?
It'll run 62 on a
tri-tune. That is moving. It's probably smooth too, though.
Oh yeah, super smooth. But the demo boat, the turning radius with the twins, it's okay, but the extra weight of the second motor,
But you're not racing it.
No, I know, but you want to go fast. You want to go fast. Plus nobody else had one of the new 500Rs.
I know that you wanted something that they didn't have. Now there's probably 3 or 4 of them down there.
Yeah, I'll have to sell it for next.
Yeah, you're going to find something else. Are you going to get a wakeboard boat before it's all said and done?
No, I had a wakeboard boat first. I didn't like it.
Did you not?
Mm-mm.
I don't know if I've ever been in a wakeboard boat.
They're so rough, man. They ride like
they're meant to go, 15 miles an hour?
Yeah. Well, Wayne, our buddy, he's got a brand new Malibu, beautiful boat. But maxed out, the thing will run 40 miles an hour.
And not smooth.
Mm-mm. Beat you to death.
How many people can you hold on yours?
Oh, like 14.
God, that's a load.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it doesn't have a sound system or anything on it.
Oh yeah. No, we went overboard with it. Yeah.
You are an overachiever, just so you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have the cool little lights that play with the music and everything?
We installed all the interior. So the boat is black, and it's a fiberglass boat. It's not the the aluminum panel like you would use. So the sides are fiberglass molded, and then it sits on the tunes. But boat's black with a red diamond tuck stitch interior, and then it's got the wakeboard tower and all that, and then. But it's got a double console with a windshield.
Oh, so
you don't. Yeah,
you can tuck back in there if it's raining, whatever else.
Man, it's a great boat, and but yeah, it's 2 JLW 312s, and then 17 other Rockford Fosgate speakers all through, LEDs on the inside, and then I put 18 underwater lights on it.
Of course, you did.
So that way, at nighttime when you're doing your night rides, you just hit those. I mean, it looks like a UFO coming across the water. It's cool. Did
you take it out a bunch? Like living on the lake, do you go on the lake a lot?
Yeah. So me and Casey, whether we have company or whatever, over there by where we live, it's kind of close to the dam, and it's got the best sunset on the lake, man. So if we always love just hop in there, shoot around the corner, and just sit out there and chill and watch the sunset.
Have people started leaving the lake yet? Have you noticed traffic, not on the water, but just people that are summer down there? Have they went back?
They're gone. Yeah. Yeah, they're gone. They started leaving in September.
It is amazing how much that lake has grown.
Gosh.
I hadn't been on the water in, at least 5 years, probably longer than that, and went down on the 4th this year. And I mean, the sheer amount of houses and just the size of these houses on the water.
You should have come by and watched our fireworks show, man.
Did you have your own show?
Yeah. So I have my own show every year. It's our first year to do it there. And we had a finale that lasted 53 minutes.
That's the whole show.
The finale.
That's the whole show, isn't it?
Where'd they shoot them?
So
do they bring a barge in? Is that
no? What? Oh, so what we did was this. Okay, so I didn't want to, like, where we're at. We're right off the main channel, but we got our own private cove right there, which is great for people to come over and swim and hang out and not have to worry about boat traffic. You know. Yeah. Now Wayne lives right across the lake from me. I can see his house. You know.
I thought he was in that cove with you, so he's across the water.
He's across the water. He ain't made it over to that side yet.
I hear you.
Yeah.
You hadn't allowed him.
So he's got this long gangway, and then he had all the trees cut off his property. So I was like, perfect. I was like, well, hey, buddy, we're going to shoot all these over to your house, okay? He goes, I was like, it'll be fine.
Yeah, that's last words.
So what we did is I took all these 500 gram, the big ones. I think it was 300 of them. And you got to think each one of those has at least 40 shots in it. And then we tied them all together with Canon views.
Did you do it yourself?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, I had people do it, but I've told them how to do it.
So did you do it electronic or did you do it with a lighter?
No, we did it with a lighter.
So you're out there with a big lighter lighting these things.
No, we took, like I said, we took Canon views. All right. And so, you know what Canon views is?
Yeah.
It's like the fuse I use for my Canon.
Yeah, which you probably do have, Canon.
I'm joking. That was a Trimmers throwback. You remember that?
Trimmers.
You remember that movie?
Oh, yeah, with the graboids.
Oh, yeah, when they made the
Why the heck do you
bombs.
have Canon views? It was for my Canon. But anyway, so we took all this views, and what we do is we daisy chain them. So we do the rows of like 50, okay? And then, you know, it takes like 2 hours. You know, you get out there and you tie your fuse on, go to the next, tie your fuse on. That way it links them together. And then when you light it from each end, okay? So you'll light that one over there from the bottom end, this one over here from the top end.
So they're working towards
each other, and they meet in the middle, and it times them out perfect.
Do you have any misfires?
Nah.
Because you're a professional.
Poor old Wayne's gangway looked pretty rough, but we got pressure washer took care of it.
How much junk comes down from those fireworks when you shoot that many?
There's a lot. It was a whole lot.
I know that you got out there and picked up every bit of it.
No, we had the kids doing that the next morning.
The fireworks show wasn't for the kids. It was for you. You're going to get out there.
So the kids got out there. But, dude, it was at one point, I don't know how many boats were out there watching. But it's just like you just see nav light after nav light after. It's like, oh, my gosh, all these boats. And it just kept going. I was like, man, this is
where you're
great.
at, I mean, that's a big thoroughfare.
Yeah.
And if people see fireworks, they're going to stop and watch them.
It was unbelievable. We had a good time, but you guys have to come out next year.
You know what's funny is it's amazing that people don't get hurt watching those fireworks shows because it's pitch black dark, and you just see these running lights everywhere, but most of the time people come away unscathed.
Yeah.
And that's makes me so nervous.
Oh, man, I lost a finger that one year, but honestly, that's the only thing.
Well, I'm glad that it grew back.
Well, let me ask you guys a question.
Shoot.
All right. So this podcast, how did you guys decide to do this, and why did you decide to do it?
I love being in front of a camera.
Yeah.
I'm an attention hound, and he lets me do it.
Okay.
But he's also smart enough to know I don't need to be on here by myself, so he put himself on against my will.
I just sort of insert myself into the show.
One day I showed up to do one, and he's standing over there. I said, "What's this?" He said, "I just figured I'd stand here."
Are you afraid that Jacob's going to get on a tangent on a soapbox?
No, I'm not afraid. In fact, I'm trying to encourage more of that.
Yeah, I'm trying to be somewhat subdued.
Well, I've gotten
on
a few,
and I look at him, and he's giving me the.
We've got off topic like 30 times this podcast, but you know what? A good podcast, it needs to have an organic. You have your your key things you want to hit, right? Your bullet points, but you got to let it fill in organically.
Got to let it go.
I don't even have bullet points.
Yeah.
I just sit down and we start talking. If it flows, it flows, and if it doesn't, which we're like you. Luckily, we haven't had any that are just people can't talk. But you just sit here and talk,
right?
Have a conversation.
When you're out here, when you're doing content and you're doing things, you're doing podcasts, you have to be genuine.
Yeah, and that's why there'll be a lot of people come in. What are we going to talk about? I don't know.
Yeah, let's talk.
We're just going to talk. That's why as soon as we come in, if you'll notice, Michael got you over there quick because I don't want a bunch of talking before because that takes away from us talking here.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's some things that you can't talk about, but very few.
Sure.
And be honest with you, if you can't talk about them on camera, why are you talking about them to begin with? So,
man, I'm glad you guys are doing this. You got a great setup here. It's cool. And
we got fun.
Great personality.
So, dude, we got to circle back to Corey Philbin and ask away.
Yeah, what happened? Did he stay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I thought you said he was like going to get up and leave after that Boca Burger didn't.
Oh, no. I was just messing with him. I was telling him, I said, if you don't eat some of this, you're fixing to have to leave because Chef Rob's going to go nuclear on you.
Was he a decent guy?
Yeah, he's a guy. No, he's a. We've grown quite fond of each other over the last year. At first, now in if chance he sees this, like he knows. At first, I was like,
he came across as a celebrity that thought he was somebody.
Yeah, and I just don't get down like that, man. Like I don't care if I am sitting in a room with Billy Idol or whoever it may be. We just had our X5 just had their first event out in LA, and there were so many celebrities there, and that doesn't. I'm a weirdo, I guess. That doesn't.
I'm saying I just don't care.
I don't care. Like I care if you're a cool person or not. Like it's like, oh, Duff McKagan's a cool guy. Let's hang out, okay? Or if so and so's over here thinking, oh, you don't have this here or that here or what? It's like, hey, how about you leave?
Have you found that most quote unquote celebrities are down to earth people?
Yeah.
Or are they celebrities like what you would?
So this is the weird thing that celebrities get caught in, and I understand it now because being around so many of them and spending a lot of personal time with them, like away from everything, like getting to know them, dude, it's exhausting. Like being a celebrity is exhausting, and this is why, especially in today's culture. Now, the C and B celebrities want to act like the A celebrities, right?
So they're worse than the true.
They're worse than the mega celebrities. Okay. Yeah, the really famous people are normally like the sweetest, and they just want to interact with people that are normal. Like they don't
treat them normal.
Yeah, like just all of us sitting here talking. That's what they want. They don't want to, when people are like, "Oh my God, will you sign this?" or "Let me FaceTime my mom," or blah blah blah. Dude, that's and most celebrities will still oblige and do that stuff, but that puts you in a different category.
Yeah,
you're in a fanboy mode.
I couldn't imagine seeing somebody out eating dinner, whatever, and walking up to them and saying, "Hey,"
interrupting their dinner.
That's not.
Hey man, a few more of these shows, and you're going to be having people coming up. You're not going to be able to. You'll be in Chick-fil-A and you're going to get stormed in there.
And I'll kiss babies, sign autographs.
That's right.
Whatever you need to do, man.
That's it.
I don't care.
Have you been recognized yet? Either one of you from your podcast yet?
Yeah, from people that know me already.
Oh, from just strangers.
It's more people have seen it than I think do because they'll say something specific about certain episodes.
Yeah.
And I've told him I won't go back and watch anything I'm on.
Why?
If I have talking parts, if I'm on camera in any way, I will not watch. I can't stand to hear myself, see myself.
You do great. You do great. But that's the only way to critique yourself and get better is to watch back. Now, you don't have to watch it. Like, I don't watch every episode we do either. But in the beginning, I did because I wanted to hone my craft.
I can't tell you if it pops up on Facebook, one of the shorts that he'll cut.
Yeah.
When I see my face, I'm like, nope. And I will immediately get out of there. Holly the other night was laying in bed watching one of them, and I heard myself talking. I had to go outside. I told her either you turn that off or I'm leaving.
You're done.
My wife's always watching our stuff. And she's the sweetest thing. She's like, well, I'm your biggest fan. You know, it's great, you know, for your wife to support you and stuff.
Oh, hey, no, I appreciate that, but I'm not going to sit there with her.
But I'm the same way, though. I don't want to, you know. But for a while, you know, I did because I felt that's the only way I could get better. Like I wanted to get better at articulating a question, you know, because a lot of times I would stumble. And I still do occasionally. The cool thing is look, this ain't the Tonight Show. This is a podcast.
And that's what it's not scripted.
Yeah, we don't want to put too much pressure on ourselves, but I also want to be the best I could possibly be.
Every now and then, I like to have an awkward pause. I like to mess up because then you know it's real.
Yeah.
It's not just sitting here where it's, well, Charlie, A, B, C, D, E. All right, we're done. Goodbye. I mean, I don't have a clue what we're going to talk about next.
Yeah.
He does it.
What kind of video games do you play?
I don't.
Nothing? Never have.
Yeah, no, I used to. I hadn't played any video games, man, in it's probably been like 5 years.
What'd you play?
I was big into first-person shooters, you know.
Call of Duty. Were you any good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Battlefield series.
Battlefield
I loved
great.
those.
Yeah. Multiplayer, you're playing online.
Yeah, playing online.
Yelling at kids.
Yeah, the whole nine. You know. Me and friends would get on, you know, together or whatever. But yeah, man, that was my big deal. And I really need to get back into that some. I always enjoyed it, but there for a while, I just didn't have the time.
Just couldn't do it. It's a time sink.
It is.
You got to, yeah, it's hard, especially trying to compete.
Yeah.
I don't even worry about the score anymore because I mean,
that means you're really bad at it.
I am now. I used to not be. I felt like I'm pretty good at this.
Oh, I would get slaughtered now.
Yeah.
Like I said, I hadn't played in like 5 years. So.
My 9-year-old can get double the kills that I do, and I really think that I am just laying it down. And he's like, "Hey, Dad, I did this." I'm like, all right.
Go to your room.
Yeah, you're grounded. You can't play anymore. I get to play for a while to get better.
That's awesome.
Did you ever get into the streaming gaming stuff, Twitch? You watch people game?
No. Well, you know what? I take that back. Yes.
Hold on. Wait a minute. You're watching people play games?
Yeah.
Kind of like when you watch a football game. You're watching people play a game. Sort of like that, but it's a
football game to you watching somebody play
a game.
Mario Brothers.
Mario Brothers.
What's the difference?
What do you mean, what's the difference?
You're watching people play a game.
You're living in a fantasy world.
I used to watch, and you know what? I take that back. Like I said, I probably watched an episode, 3 weeks ago. A lot of the GTA stuff where they do like different missions together, in multiplayer. And they would do whatever scenario missions. And I always thought, I was trying to remember, it's two guys that done a lot of that. Bay Area Bugs.
I hadn't heard of them. Bay Area Bugs.
On YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, they're great.
They're pretty funny.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah.
You do any board games, card games, anything like that?
Yeah, love board games. Me and the wife, we do a lot of that when we have friends over or whatever. We enjoy a game called Battle of the Sexes.
Battle of the Sexes.
I've seen it, but I hadn't.
Dude, it's so much fun. You got to have a group of people to play it, but it's cool. So the girls ask the guys, girl questions, and the guys ask the girls guy questions.
Do you win?
Yeah, I'm pretty good.
I hope you sense the undertone in that question.
I know what you're saying. But yeah, I'm pretty good. My wife says because I cheat. Me and my brother-in-law and all of us, we cheat. Like they accuse us of cheating, but we're just awesome.
I can't play games with Holly. I love her to death. I'm too competitive. It's just like playing pickleball. I play pickleball with her. Me and her will not speak for a while.
Really?
She'll hit a shot out, or even worse than that, if I don't feel like she's giving it 100% effort, I'll say something, and boy, that goes terribly quickly.
That's the coach in you, though.
Yeah. She does not see it as coaching, and look, I don't blame her.
Yeah.
I told you need to play pickleball.
I'm ready.
I've never played pickleball. Eager. Wayne, we got multiple friends that play. Me and Casey have been talking about play them.
It's something you can do and have a lot of fun. You can get hurt at it quickly because the court is so small. You think, shoot, I can do this. And when you haven't done anything in a while and you go out there and you go 100%, things don't move like they used to.
Yeah.
I've pulled my calf. I've fallen a few times, embarrassingly.
Are you stretching beforehand? Do you have a good stretching regimen?
I don't have time to stretch.
You're just jumping into it?
100%.
That's not smart.
Hit a few volleys.
And you're ready to go.
I'm telling you, man, you'd enjoy pickleball.
Yeah, I want to try it.
Have you guys ever been in a cold plunge?
No.
I've gotten into a cold swimming pool in the winter.
Do you do that? You seem like the kind of guy that's doing cold plunges.
So, I talked to him last night, and he just got
out.
Do you have one of those small little?
Yeah. So Blue Cube built me the same one they built for Joe Rogan.
Okay.
It's the tall, because I'm a tall guy.
Yeah.
And dude, it's unbelievable.
Every morning or night? What are you doing?
Well, morning sometimes. Sometimes I'll do it at night, but normally it's morning time. I didn't have time to do it yesterday morning, so I had to get it in yesterday.
Is this a quick in, quick out?
Well, what you do is I have a infrared red light therapy sauna, and I normally stay in there 30 minutes at 150 degrees. Get out of that straight into the cold plunge,
straight in,
which I keep at 46.
It's chilly,
and you do 2 to 3 minutes, 4 times a week.
And when you come out, do you feel it? You feel all those dopamines and
dude.
What you feel?
It's
great.
like runner's high times 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you dread it?
Nah.
Getting in there?
The first 2 times, absolutely. But
now
then
it is what it is.
Now you look forward to it.
You get what? You get all the way up to your neck?
Mm-hmm. And then the last 5 seconds, I dunk my head and everything under.
Is it easier than taking a cold shower?
Cold shower. So even with an ice bath, that water is only going to be in the mid-50s. So in a cold plunge, I keep mine at 46. It'll go to 35. Like you're like Bering Sea temperature at that point.
Have you ever taken your temperature before and after?
Uh-uh.
I'm curious if it would affect your body temperature.
Yeah.
2 or 3 minutes.
Probably.
We need to get one.
But
you and him go jump in his cold plunge together.
But the healing and the inflammation and even just the mood, like in your mental clarity, there's so many things. It's great for people, especially anybody with PTSD. It's so beneficial, and it's really, it's not snake oil. Like it's legitimate.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of studies on it. I mean, if I've ever had to take a cold shower for some reason, hot water's out.
Yeah.
You feel better when you get, and I'd rather submerge myself in cold water than let that water hit me. I don't know what it is. I just hate every minute of it. Mm-hmm. But you feel better.
Yeah.
You wake up, you're energized.
Yeah.
I guess because your body's working overtime.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what we need to do. You need to bring a camera.
And film it happening.
And film Jacob's first cold plunge over at the house.
Let me get back in the gym a little bit before we start doing anything.
We'll get you a wetsuit, man.
Yeah, I don't want to be that guy that's got his T-shirt on getting into the cold plunge.
got his shirt on.
Yeah, I'll be that guy that's. Oh man,
we'll clean it up in post.
It's. Yeah, can you give me some abs and everything else, because it's bad right now.
So why did you stop going to the gym as much? Just time, just family, kids, sports, work, life.
All that, but the main reason is I got bored.
Really?
I'd go by myself every day, and I went so hard for so long.
You did, man.
You see a bunch of you see a bunch of growth. You put on some good lean muscle, and you get to a point where you can't put on any more, and then you feel like you're just spinning your wheels, so you lose interest.
Yeah.
Plus, you can only go that hard for so long, and then it just tapered off. And I'm the kind, if I don't go when I usually go, for one day is all it takes, and I'll start slipping.
Yeah.
And
that's me too, man.
And man, I loved it. Gosh, I loved it. And now
Jacob looked like freaking Brock Lesnar.
Oh, I know.
It was
he was jacked. Well, is.
Well, I mean, he's still in pretty good shape, but
I'm fat as a pig now, and it's just a lot of it is once you get in good shape.
Yeah.
And then you look in the mirror and you see this tub of goo, You go, I'm embarrassed to even go back to the gym.
Man.
Nah.
That's pride and ego. But
Dude, 6 weeks. 6 weeks. You know, that's why me, man, like I'm trying now to, I don't like to go to a gym. Like I like to be in my comfort of my place. And so I've got everything I need there now. And like I said, we just started. I've just started kind of getting in that. But
going to a gym, gosh, this just shows I'm an egomaniac. Going to the gym drove me because I wanted to be the guy that was in there that was, look at that. Look at what he's doing.
Yeah. What I'm trying to do, though, is work really hard all winter and spring and not really see a lot of people. And then when I see them next summer, they're going to be like, what the?
Look at this guy.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I've thought that myself.
You know?
The summer came.
Ta-da!
Ta-da.
You know?
I weighed myself yesterday and I thought, oh, my gosh.
Really?
It's a lot.
Dude, I don't think you're not. I think that's in your head, man.
It's in your head. What is that? Dysmorphia? Body dysmorphia? Yeah, you don't see what we're seeing.
Yeah, I see what everybody sees. And that's part of
man.
it. I see now how ladies can get to where they just don't want to do anything because, especially if you go to Instagram and all that, you see all that fake garbage.
Yeah, it's not even real.
I mean, it's just a bunch of course, but hey, guys are the same way. You see all these guys on there.
Yeah.
How many times you been to the beach? I don't see the kind of people you see on Instagram walking around everywhere.
Yeah. Out in LA, you'll see like, oh, there's that one model, so-and-so from
They probably
Instagram.
don't look the same as they do at all, do they?
No.
Totally different.
They're eating a donut and a bowl of SpaghettiOs or something.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
That's the picture I want to see.
Yeah, that's not who that is. Yeah, it is too. I didn't recognize her with a mustache. I didn't know.
The mustache.
Hadn't gotten that waxing lately, huh?
One of these days, I'm gonna go to LA with you.
Man, it's interesting. It's cool though.
I'd like it for about a day and a half, and then I'll
3 days max. About what you want to do.
Yeah, see, I just
Anything over that's
now, but like going to these parties, and then I mean it. I'd be the guy that's standing over in the corner because I don't care enough to go around and say, "Hey, how are you?"
Yeah, you'd be like, "Hey,
that's just called being polite."
Yeah, you're just chilling.
No, but I'd take it to the other extreme. Is I'm not going to make this person think that I care who they are.
Hey, look, Jacob would be the kind of guy. All right, if I walk up and I'm like, Jacob, this is George Clooney. George Clooney, this is Jacob. Jacob would be like,
yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
no, I'd actually look at Clooney.
Good
and go,
for you.
How'd that election go for you, bud?
He'd go,
yep,
whatever.
All right. Well,
Jacob.
Yeah, I heard you. I
we're
just
playing
can't
the
get
music.
over the fact of what
we just ended the show right there. That's it. I gotta go.
That's so funny.